Good evening, friends. I wanted to take a moment this evening and ask you a question. Are you tactically ready if something was to happen? Do you have your systems in place where if there was a knock on a door and it was like, we gotta go, are you ready to go? I had a pretty good eye opener a week ago when I was invited to go out with some guys and do some tactical shooting with my ARs and my pistol of my choice. So my two favorite ARs that I own are, I have the SIG M400, and it had a Berska red dot on it. It's not a dot, it's a crosshair type red, and it's got little itty bitty round dots on it for your progressives. And it's not the highest dollar sight of it, it's like just under 300, but it's always been a pretty good sight. I don't even think they make that version anymore. And then my second favorite ER, or right there tied with it, is what I like to call, it's my half-breed AR. So it has a Bushmaster lower with a Stag Arms upper, and it has a EOTech with night vision capability on it. Okay, so I'm invited to go out to this place, and the night before I pull out the SIG and putting it in a tactical bag, and don't ask me how the on-off switch has gotten broken off of it, and I couldn't even turn it on. So I put that one back, put that one away, got out the Bushmaster / Stag, and loaded that in the bag, loaded up some magazines. I decided to take another AR with me that I own for a friend of mine that doesn't have any type of optics on it. It's just good old-fashioned A2 sight post, right? But it does have a red dot laser underneath. So I took that one with me as well. The pistol of choice that I decided to take was my M&P full-size 9. Thank goodness I took that gun, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But I got the M&P out. I just wanted to show you that it is empty. I get out there with these guys, they've all got their stuff out there. They're wearing plate carriers and stuff, and they got all their technical gear, and they got their ham radios on them and all this, and I just show up in blue jeans and a t-shirt and pull out my AR-15, my Bushmaster Stag, and the first thing that happens is I get up there and we're shooting about 45 yards out. I turn on my EOTech and my batteries are dead. It comes on, goes right back off. Turn on, goes right back off. I don't have any secondary batteries. And I'm like, well, I guess I won't be shooting this today. One of the guys says, okay, no problem, I got batteries. Kind enough to give me a set. I put it in there, put it in the EOTech, turn it on, sit down at this table, this bench rest, and from 45 yards, everything is flying super high. Like I'm not only missing the target, I'm missing the cardboard the target's on. So I don't know what happened there. And to be honest with you, it's been so long since I shot that gun, probably 3-4 years, that I don't even remember what I had it sighted in at before, but I can't imagine anything like that. I usually set my guns up either at a 25-yard battle combat sight set or maybe 50. If you set up, say, 25 yards, you're usually good out to 300, right? So, or 27 meters to be exact. So, not sure what happened there, but here I am looking pretty stupid. Gun's not hitting anything, way high in the dirt. So, I put that down. Like, I don't know what happened to that. I'll have to take that to the gun range and dial that back in. And I pick up the other one that's the opposite, which is an Olympic Arms. It's an Olympic Arms Home Defender, is what it was pitched as in 2007 when I picked that up. So it's got the actual carry handle on top of it, which is why I've never put any type of um, reticle on it at all. But luckily that gun, 45 yards, at least I was on target. Again, with that one, I seemed to be hitting a little bit high. Wasn't quite hitting X's, but at least I wasn't completely humiliated like I was with my Bushmaster Stag. Then we switched over. Here's where I finally shine and I bail myself out. We switch over to pistol, and my Smith & Wesson M&P full size 9mm, which I consider like a combat pistol, ran flawlessly, mag after mag after mag. I took 8 loaded magazines with me. I let other people shoot it. They all loved it. Some Glock guys shot it. I shot their Glocks. We had a good day, right? But it brings me back to my question, are you tactically squared away? And that showed me that no, I wasn't. Because I would have ran to get one of those 2 ARs, and they both were down. They were both worthless. So 3 days after that shoot, I took the Bushmaster Stag out with the EOTech, and I redialed that in. I actually lifted the sight. It was co-witness, which I've never really liked. So I lifted up the EOTech on a riser, and then I put 1/3 co-witness, and I dialed it in at 27 meters. So now I'm good out to 300 meters, no problem. Everything's right there. The SIG, I sent an email off to Barska to see if I could get this particular red dot fixed, or if I'm going to have to buy a new one for it. I have another one. I have a Sig Sauer red dot for it I could throw on it, and depending on the answer I get from Barska, I guess I'll figure that out. But it was just a real eye-opener to realize that you think you're ready, you get a little laxy-daisy. I kind of hadn't really been shooting guns that much lately. I am NRA certified. I'm an RSO, range safety officer. But I kind of switched my focus over to archery for the last 5 years. I'm certified in every archery organization going, teach archery in 4 different middle schools to the kids. 4-H archery, USA, Joad archery, all these things. I had actually dumped all my money in and opened a second business, which was an indoor archery retail establishment with an indoor shooting range. 3 years later, it's out of business. It just wasn't enough sales to keep it going. But through all that, I had kind of let my firearm stuff just sit, and maybe occasionally I went out and shot a pistol once a year or something. But yeah, I was not tactically squared away. I am today, right? I put it back together. My Bushmaster Stag is right on with my EOTech. My M&P 9, right on. Of course, my other pistols, most of my pistols are fantastic. I don't keep a pistol if it's not accurate, then it's not interesting. If it's not interesting, I don't want it. Some of the better pistols that I have like 4 or 5 Kimber 1911s, and I got 4 or 5 Rugers. One of the Rugers I really think is amazing, I got 2 of them, is the SR9Cs. Fantastic guns. They just go bang every time, and sights from factory were dead on. So I'm feeling a lot better about that. So then last night I decided, well, I got this home defense shotgun, this 12 gauge Mossberg. I should just kind of run through that and see if everything's okay. I got the tactical light on there, blah, 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 blah. Flick on the light, battery's dead, right? So takes that little 123 battery, 123, looks like a shrunk down little C battery or something. Dead as a doornail, You got to go through this stuff. You got to make sure it's all working for you. I can't wait to get re-invited out there with these guys and redeem myself for my poor performance the first time they asked me to come out. So fantastic group of guys. They treated me amazing. I was invited. The guy who owns the property is like, hey, you can come out here anytime you want. So the guy who originally invited me, he took my CCW class, him and his girlfriend, and that's how I got my invite. And I'm going to send him a text message here pretty soon to tell him, hey, I kind of I redialed that in. I don't know what was going on, but I'm ready for the next time you invite me out. But you know, if you run into a world without law, something happens, you have to run to the gun cabinet to get it. There's a knock on your door and it's your friends, and they're like, hey, all hell's broke loose downtown. It's a go time, right? You want to, set up around your house and make sure nobody bothers anybody in your house. Just keep your family safe. You need to pull these firearms out, and you need to go through them, and you need to take them to the range, and you need to shoot them to make sure they're still where you think you left them the last time you had it in your hand. So that's my lesson for tonight. I hope you'll heed my warning. Use my shame to help dial yourself back in, maybe if you haven't done that in a while. And until then, until next time, stay safe and keep your family safe, and make sure you take care of your firearms. Until next time.